Hi everyone, this is a quick informal demo video to show you the two new workflows that we have developed during our most recent work cycle for H3, the self-deposit application for the Stanford Digital Repository. So this is the home page of our application, and you click this button to enter here. And now we're on the dashboard, and both of these new workflows are controlled at the collection level, so you can turn them either or both of them on or off. And when you turn them on, they each have a new button to initiate depositing via those workflows. So this collection has both of the new workflows turned on. You can see that this collection has them both turned off. This one has just the GitHub one turned on. In addition, when deposits are made from these workflows, we are putting either the little GitHub icon or the open access icon next to deposits that are made with those respective workflows so that it's easy to tell which ones came in that way. So first I'm going to show you how the new article deposit works. This allows users to deposit an article to the SDR that has been previously published elsewhere with the DOI. So this is the entirety of the form right here. So you just need to drag your article file over to here, select the version of the work, assign a license. If you haven't agreed to the terms of deposit before, you need to do that. And then you enter either a DOI or a PMC ID for the published version of the work. If you're entering a PubMed Central ID, we actually go look up the DOI so that we can retrieve the metadata from the DOI, just like we are when you enter a DOI. So then you need to click this button after you enter the DOI, and we retrieve the metadata from Crossref. This requires that you are entering a DOI for an article specifically. It doesn't work for anything of a different resource type than that. And then you can check the retrieved metadata. We get the title, the authors, including ORCID IDs, if those exist, as well as affiliations if they are linked to research organization registry IDs, which we also collect, publication date, and an abstract if there is one. So the user can then double check if all of this information looks correct. We let them know that the work's going to be released immediately to everyone in the world once it is deposited. These works do not get DOIs because there is already a published version of the work with a DOI. If they like everything, they can just click deposit. If there's anything they want to edit or if they want to add additional information, they can go to the full version of the form, and you can see the article, the file is here already. The title that they entered is here. The other form doesn't have contact email, so that's empty, but it's also not required on this form. The authors are entered with their ORCID IDs and institutions if we found those. The abstract is here. We don't get keywords from Crossref, so those can be entered here now if the user wants to. We automatically select text and article, and then we put on this page this question about the version of the work that they are depositing. And then there's the license they selected. This is additional, this is the publication date of the work, and so that shows up here. Under related content, we are putting the link to the published version of the work, and we are indicating that this is the version of record or the publisher's version of the work that has been deposited. They can enter a citation here if they want to, and then they can go here to the end of the form and click deposit. So otherwise, if everything was fine and you don't want to add anything else, you can just click deposit on the original form, the one-page form the first time around. So now this is complete. It says deposited here. So now I'm going to show you the GitHub deposit form. This allows users to automatically deposit releases of GitHub repositories. So the first thing you do is put in the name or the link to your GitHub repository. This is a test repository of mine. We retrieved some information from the GitHub repository, so we put the name of it here, my email address. This form has very similar requirements to the standard form, so authors are required. I'm just going to enter me for ease. We get this bit of information from the About section on the GitHub repository page and put that here in the abstract. That can be updated with something else, something more complete if you want. You do need to add a keyword. We automatically select software and code for the work type, but this can be modified and subtypes can be added. You can choose to get a DOI, of course, and you can choose whatever license you want. I'm going to go for MIT. Under the related content, we put a link to the GitHub repo and indicate that the deposit has been derived from this related work, since the deposit is going to be a specific release of this GitHub repository. You can enter citation if you'd like. And then this button here is Save and Begin Depositing Future Releases. So I'm going to click that button, and then when that is done spinning, it tells me I have another step or two here to do. So first is go to GitHub and create a new release for this repository. So I'm going to go over there, and this is my draft release that I already queued up, and I'm going to publish this. This has an additional file in it as well that I have added in along with the zip file that's created for the release. So I'm going to go back here now. Step 2 says we will check nightly and deposit new releases that we find. Now, if you do not want to wait, especially for this first one, you can, as it says in step 3, click check for new GitHub releases button to deposit the new release now. So I'm clicking that button, and it's telling me above that it's checking, and then it's going to start depositing. And then here in a moment, and you can actually already see that demo test is the zip file from the repository, from the GitHub repository, and hierarchy.zip was the additional file that I had added. So it's now deposited. You can see. So this is the tag that I used for the release. GitHub automatically uses for the name of the release file itself. We are also pulling in the name of the release as the description. So I typed in release title test for demo video, and you can see that right here, right here. And if we go over to the Perl page, you can see that how that looks over here, and that this is all deposited. Now the user can also, so now this will continue to check nightly for new releases to GitHub. If I were to make a new release right now and then not do anything else, tomorrow when I come back, I would see that I would be on version 2. And there would be a new, an update to this particular object with a new version of the work. I can also turn off this automatic deposit of future releases by clicking this button. It takes me to the last page of the form, which once there has been a deposit shows me this option to shut off the checking nightly, essentially. And I can save that. And now this work will not get updated again unless I turn that back on. So it's now off. And that's kind of it. Easy as that. So thanks for watching.